October 18th, 1000 AM, District Court, Courtroom No. 4. Holy shit, it's
Oh my gosh,
it's
we're in
that
court
intro
now.
guy.
That's so crazy.
I haven't left.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers.
The prosecution
How do
is
these
ready.
jokes work in Japanese?
What? Oh, they
These-
they have completely different name puns, I think.
I'm sure. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please.
The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during this trial will all point to this fact.
I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness.
Chat says, I think I remember hearing the game's court rules use a combination of US and Japanese rules. No, that's actually a fallacy. Not a fallacy, like a rumor. What this actually is the creative director's idea of what how the courts work. He is not a professional. He has no idea, and he did no research, from what I understand. So this is all bullshit. Yeah. Very well. I call a most familiar-faced Detective Gumshoe to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court.
Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here's the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. that day. Past the security station, there was a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 o'clock p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. Time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? No.
Should I listen to the whole thing again? I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear. How medieval.
Thanks. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see?
Understood.
Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered.
Your name, please.
Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma.
Your name, please.
Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting the witness to say their names.
Wendy Oldbag, dearie. They're just calling me Grandma. It's practically my name, even when I was a throwback, but that's my name, dearie. See how something they're trying to make fun of me just because of my name, believe it? But there's a boy, this champion of the against him with Oldbag with the card because I objection! Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness.
Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand.
I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony.
Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, see, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie.
You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag.
Witness's account. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since this morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5 p.m. Then the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio.
You saw the defendant, then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, Jesus.
I believe it.
Let's see. Should we? Yeah.
Should we just photo? Oh, that one. Let's run that one. Pressure on that one.
Yeah,
The errands.
I agree.
What kind of errands?
Oh, well, you know.
I don't. Answer the question.
Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers, observing, you know.
Observing? Aren't you supposed to be at the guard station?
Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job.
I'm not sure your boss would see it that way.
Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. Never missed one in all my years.
Oh, I want to see a Steel Samurai run through too.
You can quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty.
What a bad idea.
I'm still start pressing.
Yeah. Did you see the victim then?
Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Well, tell us what happened next. All right. I mean, we probably can't just present, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah. That man was, that one.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Present photo.
All right, easy.
Let me get this straight, old bag. Or Mrs. Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this, actually? Exactly. None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of Neo Oldie Tokyo. Miss Old Bag, is this the Mr. Powers that you saw?
Of course, didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't.
Well, I mean, I wonder.
True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I was born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness. He's having trouble calling her Old Bag, apparently. However, you do not have much proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Humph, nosy old man. Of course I have proof.
Oh, what?
Huh?
Even Edgeworth is surprised.
The prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to that young detective. He told me, this ain't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Windbag left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then.
The man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See, clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy?
So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
With his oppressor.
She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals.
All right. Yep. Don't say that, Phoenix.
Why? We gotta break her down. pounder for information.
Whippersnapper.
Hey, I haven't said anything yet.
I'll have you know I'm not pointing fingers at anyone behind their backs. Everything I've said is on the straight and narrow. Up and up. You today. Oh, Jesus, there's nothing to go on, old lady. Mr. Wright, please, for all our sakes, try not to upset the witness.
I think Edgeworth has met his match. Who was present at the run-through?
Well, let's see. There was Powers, he's the Steel Samurai, then poor old Hammer, the evil magistrate, and me.
And what exactly were you doing?
Observing, just observing.
What about the assistant?
Oh, she was off moving backdrops around and such.
So she didn't see the run-through then. Or the old windbag is really bad at noticing things.
True.
Trip and fall.
Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai, what a laugh. So Power sprained his ankle. I helped to make it better for him, of course.
You helped make it better?
I kissed it where it hurt.
Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. You may continue your testimony.
He broke a prop.
I sure did. His own samurai spear.
Samurai spear? The murder weapon?
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
This strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Samurai spear update in the court record.
Yeah. Press it.
Yeah, press everything. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly... Yeah?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Plus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot? Okay.
I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is this steel samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right. Are you sure that you're sure, Your Honor?
Yeah, object.
Objection! Hold it right there! We keep talking possibilities, but we've yet to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai.
No, I think we do agree.
Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will's Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if it's someone else not caught on camera that could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that this possibility also.
Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue his or her testimony, please? No need to ask twice.
Witness count.
Count. Right. The time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go through the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went in there. If they had, I wouldn't have seen them. I would have seen them, actually.
So, if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Yeah.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Photo number
about that? 2 p.m. Yeah. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. Photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So whenever anybody passes by it, it automatically takes a picture?
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Ooh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo are printed the words, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
But I know what that means. It was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny.
Actually, I knew that too. The issue is the bit at the end where it says, photo number 2.
Photo number 2.
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it was the only photo?
Oh my god, yeah, one is bigger than 2.
1 does come before 2. Order! Order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I meant to ask the witness. The evidence shows that not 1 but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access. The security lady herself.
Eh? And you watching about the whippersnapper? The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
And the witness explained this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help. Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper, too. Whippersnapper?
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag?
Ah, that's right. I just remembered something.
Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai.
Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. What? What the?
No,
what's
well,
wrong
I
with
can't
this
believe
lady?
you just fucking lied. I was never that. I see. Your testimony, please.
He's so done.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it.
Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this.
The other
Christ.
person.
Oh my god. All right.
What is that other job?
Sure.
Another job?
That's right, I check all the people that passed by the main gate that day. I look closely at every one of the photos that security camera takes. Do you back up all the security camera data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes. But those computers are just so frustrating. God damn it.
How exactly do you determine who isn't suspicious looking?
Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces, for the most part.
For the most part. This is a murder trial, Miss Oldbag.
Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I?
I think she's missing the point. Well, who the heck was in the photo that you erased?
A fanboy.
Fanboy?
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh who knows where. They're always hanging about. One was there that day.
Wait a second. Didn't you see no one else could get in? Those were your words.
Oh, I locked the main gate so no one can get in. Well, you must know there's a train that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while.
So he vented in.
It leads out the imposter.
They come in through the drain.
I told you there were freaks. Oh, and
And?
they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
kids? This one the photo that you erased?
It was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade.
What? Yeah, children.
Wow.
I've heard of
Damn.
those.
I haven't.
Order, order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh, yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear.
Impossible, I think. It's quite heavy.
All right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there and that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
February 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby No. 3.
Mr. Powers,
Yes?
tell me straight. Are you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio?
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in the security photo?
How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So where does this leave me?
Doesn't look good. You're the only suspect right now.
Nick, well, what are we gonna do?
First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this.
Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day.
Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
I'm not optimistic at all, actually.
Hey, Nick, it's time.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go!
What does that mean? Please don't sound like that.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he did it.
Yeah, definitely did it.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, would you present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter?
And the prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went into the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there is still no one else that could have committed this crime. I called for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your thoughts? Defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Wow.
Wow.
Suspects? That's crazy.
Murder. Order! Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right, great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder?
Probably not the boy.
Assistant.
Probably not the assistant, though, because like she was not there.
We didn't know where she was, though.
Yeah, the assistant wouldn't know about the limp, right? Which is kind of what we're indicating. Because
I mean,
the Steel Samurai was limping, and the only person who knew about the limp would be the security lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. let's do it.
Yeah. Screw her. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Wendy.
Oh.
Name is Wendy.
Yeah.
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they'd been watching the action scene run through. There's only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper?
Yeah,
Wow, we
she's
should just
old.
prosecute her so we don't have to listen to her talk.
We should kill old people.
Order, order. Is this true, old bag?
Old bag? That's Miss Old Bag to you.
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume, then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. Huh? That's odd. Is this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so y'all think I did it? Is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way.
Yeah, give Granny a break. No.
Guess. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a subject in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. I did it. Now Windbag is one of the subjects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Well, wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? That boy, the one whose photo I erased.
He's only a grade schooler, though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How could you be so sure? Oh, or is it nice to be nice to the kids? You mean your Elder's Day? A whippersnapper?
Yes. I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed? Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows that the boy could not have committed this murder? I mean...
Nope.
Oh,
we didn't have a key card, right?
Yeah. The scene of the murder was, as we all know, Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, then would the witness care to comment on this? The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. This court will suspend on the proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name?
Something Old Bag, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Schmack.
Oh, wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here and we're not barking up the wrong tree. Me. I'm talking.
Ah.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
Nah, not to talk about.
By whom?
Huh. You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify.
My lips were sealed. Noble Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why would you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
Oh, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination? All right, who are these people?
Yeah.
Push.
Yeah. Let's see.
So you were told not to talk?
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it.
You killed him? Who were these people?
Oh, well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director?
We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2.
Oh, well, if you look at the guide map, here it is.
Bing!
You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head had fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you care to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked him all my questions, but...
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have any more information that we need to get out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know. Like we need to look into these other people. Yeah, let's take a break. Yeah.
Your Honor, we have learned there were others at the Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of.
I understand, Your Honor.
This ends the day's proceeding in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Correct.
October 18, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, No. 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing.
I don't know.
Or should
You know, like the little spark.
Should I sniff?
Yeah.
Should I smile or sniff?
Yeah. Like the bear in the big blue house thing.
It's like when they interview dogs.
Yeah.
We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We'll have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. Now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination.
So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been Old Windbag?
What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor Old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her.
She wasn't winning any points out there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
All right, we'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks, guys.
To be continued.
Alrighty. Next time on...
Dude, I can't believe we killed him.
Yeah, you know what? Phoenix killed Jackhammer.
More like Phoenix jacked his hammer until he was right.